Eastbourne Borough's leading network group, Borough Means Business, met in April as the election hustings moved into its final stages. Participants had the chance to hear from two of the leading candidates, Caroline Ansell and Stephen Lloyd. This is Stephen's address.
As a football club, I've always said to Len and the team and to others, I'm not a football fan, but I'm a fan of the borough. And the key reason for that actually is because I've known for 12, 13 years where I've worked with the borough, all the work they do in the community, which is absolutely astonishing, absolutely brilliant. And these sort of events, the business lunches, I think are another way of reaching out, another way of getting people involved who may not know about the borough. So it's a real pleasure to be here. And congratulations to Ambient Catering. Here we go, good. Right, now, thinking about this, I've been MP 5 years, and I've been, it took me 8 years to win. Hand up all of those who don't live in Eastbourne. Okay, a few of you. I was the MP, for those who don't know me. It took me 8 years to win, knocked on 20,000 doors virtually, pounding away, then I've been the MP 5 years. I'm a business wing liberal. What I mean by that, I'm a proud liberal, I really am. But I'm passionate about business for very simple reasons, and that is that the private sector has and brings a sort of energy to any town or any area that if you don't have it, no matter how much public sector money you put in, if you don't have that private sector energy, a town or an area begins to plateau. I was complimenting your cooking, Gary. There you are. It plateaus and it goes down. And so when I got elected in 2010, I'd been in business 20 plus years before I went into politics, I knew we were going into a terrible recession. I mean, awful recession. I'm old enough to have been through 3, 4 or 5 of them. And I knew that there were two key things I had to do to ensure that the town came through the recession well. First off, focus on the confidence, because when you're feeling down, be it an individual, a family, a town or a nation, it's very easy to slip into a status of victimhood, very easy to slip into a status of feeling sorry for yourself. And so confidence was crucial. So for about 1.5 years, I went around constantly saying, Eastbourne back in the trend. I brought the carnival back. I became patron of the Bonfire Society. I worked with Legal and General with the Arndale regeneration. I was constantly pushing the confidence side. That's no accident. It was a considered, deliberate decision. Because if you're confident, you can take on the world. It's absolutely true. In business, my background was business development. The product's important, the service is important, but actually the key is how you feel. And I'm convinced that one of the reasons we've come through the recession so well is the town feels good about itself. It's a town that has a strong sense of community. A lot of us around the room, not just the borough, a lot of us around the room know the numerous groups within Eastbourne, from the churches to the charities, the organisations that work together for that sense of community within the town, and that's really important. And then alongside that, there's business. I travel ideologically very light, maybe businessman, I don't know. I don't really care how to get to my objective. Let's say it's there. Someone who's a hard right-wing monetarist will say only the private sector can fix it. Someone who's a dyed-in-the-wool socialist from Scotland, what have you, will say only the public sector can fix it. The world's not like that in business. You and I know, so long as you're clear what the objective is, it's always a bit of both. And that's always been my approach from the beginning when I was in business and as a politician. So I set up a very big tent within weeks of winning the election, right smack in the middle of town. And I got a load of people inside it, from the council, from business leaders, from the Chamber of Commerce, from the FSB, some absolute Tories in the tent. I didn't care. So long as they weren't going to spend their time kicking me out the backside, I didn't care. What I was interested in, come in the tent, if you're focused about working for the town, and they did, and they have done, and we did. And a business, the whole business network, the whole sense of small business and aspiration, and all the challenges that we were having at that time through the recession, it would have been impossible to support them more than I did. I talked with the different banks, the different bank managers. Some people would come to me and they say, you know, we've got a good business model. I'd have a look at it. If it was rubbish, I'd tell them. Not it's rubbish, I'd say, go and redo it. And they might say to me, such and such a bank's not listening. So I would phone other bank managers, maybe at HSBC or NatWest, and say, listen, meet this guy. I think he's got a good idea. And I'm not saying The bank managers immediately said, well, if Stephen said that, it must be right. But what it is, they understood I wouldn't be selling them a pup because I understand leadership, understand business. And sometimes people might not get the loans from one area, they go to another bank, and they did. I'm opening, I think it's next week, my diary's gone mental, but I'm opening a new business, innovation business in a week or so. A bunch of young guys have come to see me, and they're setting up a sort of Eastbourne card principle, you know, like a residence card. They came to see me about 6 months ago. It was a good idea, but the business model was weak. And I said, no, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to get focused, you need to get real. They went away, they worked like hell, they came back, and they've got a good business plan, so I'm going to help them launch in a week or so. And hopefully it will work. And if it does, it will generate wealth, it will generate aspiration, they'll take on people. So business is crucial to me. So what do I offer the town if I win? Eastbourne's come through the recession brilliantly. We've got unemployment claimant rate down at 2.8%. I was the first MP to roll out 100 apprentices in 100 days. We got over 3,500. I did a work experience programme a few months ago where our conversion from people who are long-term unemployed is 30.2%. The government's work programme for the same group's 4.2%. That's because Eastbourne pulling together. There's a lot of people in this room who I have phoned and nagged and said, come to this event. We need your support. Eastbourne needs your support. And people pick up the phone. Sometimes they probably throw the phone against the wall after I've come off it, but they pick up the phone because they know my vision and my objective and my passion is this town. Now, I don't grow up in Eastbourne. I grew up in Africa, which was a bit of a long schlep, but I've been here 13 years. Live in Old Town, and I love it. And I love the town, I love the people. And as I said the other night to the hustings last night, poor old Caroline and I do them every couple of days or so, it's been a privilege to be the MP of this town. It will be a privilege to continue as the MP for the town, and if I'm not elected, the whole thing has been an enormous privilege, and I've just loved every minute. So what I particularly bring is, after we've worked so hard to get through, and we have powered through the recession, the sense of confidence and community and esprit de corps that Eastbourne has now is astonishing. But I can tell you something. Eastbourne has a tendency in these situations to then rock back and be complacent. And if I'm your MP, and those of you around the room know this is true, is I will keep nagging, I will keep pushing, I will keep cajoling, I will not let Eastbourne sit back. Because all you've got to do is go around the whole country and look at all the or virtually all the seaside towns around the UK. It is really tough and competitive business out there. And because we've come through so well, I think it's even more important we keep powering on. And so that's what I'm going to promise. And I know people in the room know that that's exactly what I'm going to do. And it's worth it because it is such a lovely town to live in and such a lovely town bring up family. So it's a pleasure to be here. Sorry I'm pants at football. The food was lovely. More cake, please, Gary. Thank you very much.